Say we have the problem of cross a brown-haired person, big B, with another brown-haired person, big B, little b. Well, if I'm just trying to break it down, we know that we'll just call this first parent mom. We'll just call this person mom, and we'll call this one dad, just to kind of keep things simple. And we know that a segment of DNA that controls characteristics about a person, we know that that is called a gene. So for example, their hair color. But different forms of a gene are called an allele. And so for this, it might be red hair, blonde hair, brown hair, that whole bit. But we've got to figure out exactly which one's homozygous, the whole bit. So, well, I know that if it's a brown-haired person, and we know brown hair is dominant, red hair is recessive. So I know that big B, they are the exact same thing. So that must mean that they are homozygous or homozygous. And that O kind of helps me remember that they are the exact same. And they're both capital, so they happen to be homozygous dominant. Now, if I'm looking at dad, we'll say that he has two different letters, even one's capital, one's lowercase. So that means that he is heterozygous because they are different. And then these are the same. So homozygous is the same, heterozygous is different. Well, if I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out what's going to end up happening, because we know that brown hair is dominant, so if it's dominant, it's got to be a capital letter. And if red hair is recessive, that's got to be a lowercase letter. And so if we're trying to figure out what an organism physically looks like, that is their phenotype, is physically look like, where genotype is their genetics, so their letters. So if I'm trying to figure this out, if I'm looking at mom is homozygous dominant, and she has, this is her genotype. And if I'm trying to figure out what is she actually going to look like, those capital letters are going to show through, and I know capital letters mean brown hair. So that must mean that her genotype is big B, and she is going to phenotype, she's going to look like she has brown hair. However, if I'm looking at dad, he's heterozygous, so here is his genotype. But what is he going to look like? Well, that capital letter is always going to show through. And we know that capital letter means that he has brown hair. So that brown hair is his phenotype.